Hi everybody, Cary Gans here from Newbie Rewards at newbierewards.com. If you've been listening to any of the videos, you'll know that's where we are, and that's where you can find tons of videos and video courses and ebooks and I don't know, just about everything you can think of for your internet or brick and mortar business. If you have a presence on the internet, you need what we have at Newbie Phenomenon. So get Newbie Rewards. The new site is newbierewards.com. Please get over there. Get a membership. There's probably still some free memberships. They do, float around a little bit, and join us and see what we've got. If you like us, please send us a testimonial. We'd love to hear from you. Anyway, what we're going to talk about today is a program called Twitter Analyzer. In our series on TwitterRight.com, which is my Twitter blog, we're now in lesson 7, and we've gone through some of the basics of Twitter. But I wanted to show you one of the things you need to do in any business, in any marketing plan, is analyze what you're doing. You have to be able to make sure what you're doing is working, why, and then try to figure out how to make it even better. So Twitter Analyzer has some great tools. Now, I can't go over everything. There's a ton of stuff here, and they're adding new stuff soon. But two things I did want to show you. First of all, you get on, and all you have to do in the upper right is put in your Twitter ID and click on Analyze. The next window you'll see will be something that looks like this. Now, some of this I don't use an awful lot, but there are a couple of things I do. So let me show you what I use, and you certainly can go, fiddle around yourself. I usually go over to Friends, and you'll see that the icons change down at the bottom. First thing I want to do is check my followers' growth rate. I want to make sure that we're on a steady path, and you can see here that since October 26th, it's now November 23rd, so it's less than a month. We've gone from 21,000 to almost 27,000. We now have 27,208. Actually, we have more. They lag behind a little bit. We have 20,000. You can see up here the followers actually are 27,285. So it lags a little bit behind on this graph, but it gives you a good idea of your progression, and you'd like to see it steady. See, one of the things you don't want to do is spam. So you want to make sure that your growth is steady and even at a predictable rate. We're growing at the rate of 274 followers pretty much every day. So in a month, I'll gain 7,000 followers. In 6 months, I'll have 36,000 more. And this is steady. I don't have to touch it. Automatic. The only thing I do each and every day is add some of my own tweets manually. But there's enough going on in the background using some automated tools to make sure that my growth stays at roughly somewhere between around 200 plus a day. Now, why do you need that? Well, because that's how we're going to try to do some business on there. The more people you have, targeted followers, and once again, these followers here, I could grow this much more rapidly just by having anybody as a follower. But I want targeted followers. So we have now a little over 27,000, which is a reasonable number. We're somewhere around number 4,000, I think, on Twitter. And so this just shows me that my growth rate is nice and steady, which is what I like. I'm not jumping big numbers so that I'll get caught by Twitter and have my site canceled. That's one thing I don't want to do. So I'm very careful with this. The other thing I want to do before I start my day, see who's online. How many of my followers are actually online now? So if you click on the online followers button, and you can see this varies during the day. Here it is 11 minutes ago. Now here's almost right now. I have 2,039 followers actually online. So I know if I send out a tweet right now, give or take, roughly 2,000 people will see it. Real important, because that's my market. So I now know that for the most part, now I don't know how 100% accurate this is, but for the most part, somewhere around 2,000 sets of eyeballs are going to see a tweet that I'm going to send out. Now, if you have multiple Twitter accounts, you can go ahead and put them, different ones in and check it all out. But this is my major account, and I know that right now I'm going to send out a tweet and 2,000 people are going to see it. That's extremely powerful. Extremely powerful. Now, if there was only 50 people out there, then there's no real purpose tweeting right now. But if I have a good substantial portion of my followers out there, then it's worth putting out some important tweets, not just the standard stuff. Not just good morning, how are you, or whatever, or I'm eating a piece of lasagna. But if I'm going to try to market something to them or present something to them, now's the time to do it when I have a good number of people looking at our Twitter tweets. Anyway, that's roughly 7% of my followers, and that's fairly standard by the way. I don't go much higher than that. Typically, on a good day, I'll have at a good time of the day, I'll have around 3,000 people at any one time, and it's always different people out there. And this number will vary up and down. Now, there's a tremendous amount more out here on these icons that you can go ahead and check. But those are the two that I think right now, for me anyway, are most important. And then, of course, you can go ahead and tweet this just by clicking the Tweet This button, which will go ahead and send this out to your Twitter account. So anyway, have a great day. Get on twitteranalyzer.com. It's a great little way to check what you're doing, your activity. Lots of functions, lots of different things you can do with it. And have a great and successful day. Don't forget, get over to newbierewards.com, get your membership, and join us each and every day at twitterright.com, where we have new Twitter lessons and new Twitter information and hundreds of Twitter apps that are just designed to help you get ahead on Twitter. Have a successful day. We'll see you at the next video.